Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to build this Airbus A319, also known as the baby bus. This is a easy difficulty, pretty simple. So I'm going to take it out, show you how it flies, and then we'll get to the build. You do need Airplanes Plus, the only mod you need. This is mostly only using those parts. The stock thing is the winglets and the wheels, I'm pretty sure. The winglets here, the landing gear, and the vertical and horizontal stabilizer. Everything else is modded, so for realism's sake, I added air door thing. So, take off. I'm going to add partial flaps of 15 degrees. 15 works. I'm going to take off. And turn the air, I'll turn off the APU. Okay, long button. That was my first button. And deploy that. You need to watch the roll rate. Pretty high for this, I guess. So it's come around and I'm in for a landing. I do not have any fuel on the wings. 30,000 feet. I am using infinite fuel. I don't burn it, but these are very efficient engines. They'll last a long flaps. Model. It's a very accurate approach. So this thing is pretty realistic for the size. Air door. And one other thing is on airplanes, when they land, they reverse thrust and slats come up, slowing down plane more. Let's butterize this landing. I'm really waiting to touch one zone. Uh-oh. I'm just gonna take the landing. It does butter somewhat. The rest of us works. I just hit the dip. But there's three main parts. You got the fuselage, the wings, and then like engines, sorta, and then miscellaneous parts. So what you're gonna do is you want to get your the size 2 commercial cockpit. That's gonna be your ground part. Toggle the flag so there's no flag on it. Looks a little better. Then what you want to go to is you want to go to payload. Scroll down until you see the size 2 passenger door. Put that behind the cockpit. And then go down to utility. Grab the you're gonna grab the size 2 crew cabin and place 3 of those in line. And then go up to engines, scroll all the way down until you see the size 2 auxiliary power engine. Place that on the very back. And that's your fuselage done. Now you want to go to aerodynamics. Scroll down, not that far, until you see the airplane tail fin. Make sure you have snap on so it's in the center. Place that not on the edge but pretty close. And move that down where it's not fully on the, like, not going through, but it's still in. And then you want to grab the same part again, put that on the side. And you want to clip these in so it's just barely poking through the other side, so it's not that obvious. And that's your tail done. And then you want to scroll up to fuel tanks, all the way down to where you see the radial liquid fuel mount. Put that somewhat in the center. Not exact, but somewhat. And go down to aerodynamics and get the airplane main wing. And then you want to move that so it's just barely poking through the other side. Make sure you attach that onto the actual fuel tank thing. And once you're done with that, you can do one of 2 things. It's completely up to you. You can either do 2 of these small trailing edge slotted flaps, or you can do 1 of these big trailing edge 2 slot flaps. It's completely up to you. I use these because you can set them at an angle and they're not as big. And these you have like 2 deploy angles, which is somewhat good, but it just goes way too much for my opinion. So I did 2 trailing edge slotted flaps, the single ones. Then you want to scroll up to the airplane control surface and add 2 of those on each wing. You may have to clip them into the flaps just a little to get the edge right. And when you're done with that, you would get the basic fin and put that on the very edge on both wings, on the top and bottom. And then, once you're done with the wings, you want to get you want to get the Lotus engine. Not the smallest chevron, but the medium Lotus engine. Put that right around there, not super close to the fuselage, but not all the way out on the wing. A little closer to the fuselage than the center. And that completes your engine. Then you'll get the medium landing gear and put that in the center, closer to the nose, somewhere around there. The strut is just a little behind that dot. Then you want to get the same landing gear and put that right next to the fuel tank. And then get your center of mass overlay. And make sure your landing gear is just behind the center of mass. And if it isn't, just tweak scale or move it. and then make sure your center of lift is behind your center of mass. If I'm wrong, correct me. But if it isn't, you can just move the entire liquid fuel thing. If you corrected it or connected it right, your rings will be connected to that. So somewhere around there, it's up to you. And then for the action groups, I set 1. Oh yeah, also forgot to add this. Go to aerodynamics and scroll down to. I just forget where they are. Spoiler. Add the spoiler and add that just in front of the flap, so it's right around there. Yeah. So then go to your action groups. I set 1 to toggle the thrust reverse of that, and also to deploy the spoiler. Now make sure that this isn't attached to the brakes. So you want to go to your brakes action group. If it says spoiler, just like click it, click the arrow, and it'll get rid of it. That just helps they're not playing it. And that's your Airbus A319 completed. If you're going to be building multiple of my tutorials, I would highly recommend going to Open. Make sure to save it. Always save it. Go to New Folder and rename it to like Airbus. These are all my folders. Miscellaneous has all my small planes. There's a video where it's too small for like full thing. Like the MD-11, I don't feel like making a McDonnell Douglas folder that can have one plane in. There's an exception for German and Iraq. They can probably do that. But yeah, just click new folder, rename it Airbus or Boeing or whatever, and save it to that. If you have Kerbal Engineer Redux, it should say 1.89 thrust to weight. So there you go, that's your Airbus A319 fully completed. Like, subscribe, and I'll be back later. Bye!